Well, so far on this show I've had fun in the Mekong Delta and avoided some snake wine, but now it's time to get serious and look at why this place is so special and so fragile, and that's why I've taken a boat trip out onto the river at a place called Can Tho. The key to the Mekong Delta, why it's such a rich area, is the colour of the water. It's the same brown as milky coffee, and it is this colour, as my guide Phuong explains, because the Mekong has picked up granules and then whole chunks of earth from other countries on its 4,000-kilometre long journey down from the Tibetan plateau.
It's just because they have a lot of alluvium, and they start from China, so they over 6 countries, and Vietnam is the last country, so we have everything from another country.
It's this alluvium or sediment washed down from the Tibetan plateau between Myanmar and Thailand through Laos and Cambodia that gives this area its agricultural richness. The Mekong Delta is the breadbasket, or rather rice basket, of Vietnam. But now it's under threat. Bill Hayton is the author of Vietnam Rising Dragon, a study of the challenges facing the country. He says the Delta's problems begin thousands of miles away.
China is in the process of building large numbers of dams in the bit of the Mekong that runs through its territory, and has also been funding dams downstream, notably in Laos. The Mekong Delta is agriculturally rich because it's flooded every year and it brings down nutrients from the mountains and fertilises the fields. Now, if you control the flooding and stop it, the nutrients don't arrive on the fields, and you'll end up with smaller and smaller crops and have to use more and more fertiliser perhaps to compensate, which will have its own problems.
Mark Goisho is a Mekong River expert for the WWF.
The overall trend is a reduction of sediment, and a drastic one. Some 100 years ago, it was producing 160 million tons of sediment a year. Today, the estimations are about 70, so about half of it.
Changes to the Mekong Delta would threaten the food production, which Mark says helps feed 40 million Vietnamese. It would be a social and economic disaster if this system broke. But he says it's not just about we humans.
The Mekong Delta is a very important space for biodiversity. There's about 360 species of fish alone in the Mekong Delta. Many of them are visitors that come from the sea or visitors that come from upstream in the basin and use the Mekong Delta as part of their cycle.
And it's not just hydropower that's causing the damage. There's a whole host of problems facing this delicate ecosystem.
Another phenomenon is the erosion of the coast. There's a net loss about 4 meters a year. And the last point is salt intrusion, because the overall delta is sinking and losing elevation, so it means that more salt is intruding into the freshwater biomes, and this has drastic consequences for the biodiversity, but also for irrigation. Salt is not good for rice.
FM4 Reality Check.